Hi guys, sorry I'm late with the tube optimization commando video, and the reason for that was actually kind of deliberate because we were adding some things to the tool last night. So if you're watching this after we did the webinar last night and you had bought the Hangout Traffic Commando at the pre-launch price, then excuse the delay in this, but it's definitely been worth the wait. Okay, so instead of having to do that video 2 times or 3 times, we can do it just 1 time this time, and I can cover it in detail. Okay, so we can see in here I've got the competition analysis open in here. Now before I even look at this point, what we can do is we can come back over to Tube Research Commando. We can go where it says research buyer keywords, and basically if you checkbox the ones you want to use in Tube Optimization, you can click here to send to Tube Optimization, okay, and that will pull that in. Now when I come over here to Tube Optimization, those will show on the second tab when we get there. Okay, all we have to do is we put in a seed keyword here. So for example, I can put in here real estate Thailand this time, just for the sake of purpose of demonstration. I will do that. Okay, now the results that show over here are going to show for the amount of competitors that you've chosen to analyze. Okay, I chose 4 for that one I just did because I'm sitting there at number 5, and for a video that really is just more about marketing than real estate. So I was just curious what it would take for me to out optimize these guys to be able to reach number 1 in YouTube. Okay, so these are the top YouTube results. I've chosen 4 here. You can choose as many as you want to analyze. I normally keep it to the top 5. Okay, I find those are the most relevant because YouTube can throw up some very strange results after about number 5 in their search results. Okay, so top 5 is usually quite safe to use to get some decent feedback. Okay, so what you can see here is it gives you the average likes, the average views from all those videos, and the average dislikes and comments, and you can see that we got opportunities here already. Okay, 11 likes is not that hard to beat, and actually there's only 2 here that have got that many likes. Okay, and you can see for the views as well, there's only 2 videos that I really have got any sort of decent views. Okay, I don't really worry about the view count. You will find multiple times on YouTube and in Google, it's not the most viewed video that is getting rankings. Okay, it's the other elements as well. Okay, it can be the how long people are watching it for. That's what we call a retention. Okay, but here we can see again how many comments, favorites, ratings and likes, etc. when it was published. The category can be quite telling as well sometimes, and who the uploader was. Okay, so if we look at Tube Research again, we can see we've already got that kind of data there. It's just a reminder. The difference is here we can get the meta keywords, we can get the channel PR, etc. If I just scroll over to this one, and we can sort by channel PR over here so that we can get good commenting opportunities to get in high PR backlinks back to our channel, okay, and to our videos. And talking about that, then again, we can see in here, and there's not that many comments on these. This one at number 3 has got absolutely no comments whatsoever, and that gives you an opportunity to go and leave a comment there, and you will get all the link just from that that is shared back to your own channel. Okay, and this one has only got 4, this one's got 17, etc. You can see the opportunities arise. Okay, now what's different in Tube Optimization from Tube Research is this. We can see if they've got the keyword in the title. We can see if they've got keyword, what keyword density they've got here, and we can see if they've got the tags in the description. Okay, so that's the tags, the YouTube tags. Have they got the same tags in the description? And we can spot some opportunities for out optimizing them, over optimizing them. Okay, we got the competition score up here. That's for ranking inside YouTube. Okay, we will sort of take this a little bit further for Google as well, but I need some things to happen first with being able to get the Google API key. Here we can see some information about backlinks. Don't trust the source of backlinks just yet. We're going to work with an API from Moz or from one of the other services so that we can probably pull in domain authority, page authority, etc. Once we get into the Google optimization part in here, instead of just the YouTube, we will start to use that. So you can ignore the backlinks for now. If it has got something like 43 there, then you might be able to, give you an idea. Maybe you have to go and get more than 43 links if you want to rank number 1. But will this video be in Google page 1 is something you want to know as well. Okay, I will add another tool for that as well. We can create a tool up here for that to check that. Anyway, over here, what you can see is we can see how many Facebook shares, likes, and comments, and the total of those free for Facebook for each of these. And again, you can see they're not really getting that many shares, so we can quite easily get more than that. Okay, especially these second, third, and fourth. It's only 15 here. 42 shares on Facebook. It's not that hard between comments, likes, and shares. And we can see how many Google Plus they've got, how many tweets, how many Pinterest, Stumble Upon, Delicious, etc., etc. Okay, so it's a good overview, got a good bird's eye overview from what was in Tube Research and from what is in here as well. Okay, so we can come over to the optimized video, and let me just delete this because I was playing around with it because it's we got some new things in here. What we want to do is to be able to optimize our title and our description. Okay, and you can see here we've got a little checkbox area. Now anything here is my suggestions for optimizing videos. Okay, this is for some things for on page, some things for things that should be done for before you publish a video, or at least have when you publish the video and just after. Okay, these are just like, it's like a cheat sheet. Okay, but it will count and the calculations go over here. Right now, what we can do, first of all, let me just cut this off, and we can come over here, and you can see over here the title, the words for 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, 4 words, 5 words, and we have the same for description as well. Okay, so what it's doing, it's analyzing those top 4 videos, and this is a word sequence, how many times these keywords appear in these top 4 videos in their titles. This one is for the title. If I want description, I click on description here. Okay, so I want to be using things like Thailand, estate, real, patio, property. Okay, so if I want to build a title around that to compete with them on YouTube, which is still kind of relevant for Google because still optimization, I might want to put something like property. Let's see what else is in there. So we've got property, patio, real estate, Thailand. Okay, so property, investment. I can put investment. Actually, let's use something else. Property listings in property, real estate listings. Got typos again. Because I'm thinking and typing, confusing my fingers. Okay, property, real estate listings in Pattaya, Thailand. Okay, so I've added all those keywords. Okay, but a better way to do this actually is to use what is called the suggest title. Now you can do the same thing with the description over here as well before I go on. So I can click that. And you can see some things here now, the 2-word sequences and 3-word sequences, etc. It's basically just finding occurrences within those 4 analyzed. Okay, but we can do this even better. Okay, I've got even better way to do this. When we come over to the imported keywords over here, you can find all the keywords that we have already pulled in. Let me just delete those and go back over to Tube Research and click on this again. I just checkbox the ones in here. Click import to Tube optimization. They appear in here. Okay, sorry for the confusion. I should have not had that other stuff there before I did the video. Anyway, so these are the main keywords that we have pulled in from the commercial intent over in Tube Research, and we can sort them by volume. Okay, and so when we start to write the description out, we can write things like commercial, real estate, and you can see that that gets highlighted. Okay, and if I just build these keywords into an article, what I'm doing then is I'm making this highly optimized according to these keywords that I've got here to make it as relevant as possible. And when I start to do backlinking, when I've got these kind of keywords built into my article, and you're going to find that you rank for multiple keywords because you have done very, very good on-page optimization. Okay, so we can put in things like real estate, agent. Now what you want to do is to build this into a nice readable article that's making sense for the reader, and just keep adding, sprinkling these in, and this little green light here will just keep appearing the more you get them done. Okay, so the high search volume ones you want to get in, but you might want to go for some lower competition as well. Now we can take this even further in this section here by clicking on this tab here that says LSI keywords. Okay, you can see it's already pulled in the seed keyword from the competition analysis, and what I can do is I can scrape the LSI keywords, and what that does is it goes over to lsikeywords.com, which is the third-party site, and it's analyzing the top 4 Google results for this particular keyword, and it's going to pull them in. And when it does pull them in, those keywords will appear in the imported keywords here. Okay, 1 words, 2 words, 3 words, etc, etc, etc. Okay, and that way we can sort the volume again, and we can just get a good idea what people are using. Okay, and the other kind of keywords that people are using, so we can find some great ideas for keywords that we can sprinkle into our post. Now we've actually pulled in a little bit too many here. We've got 1,138, so we do need to do a little bit of tweaking with this, but we will tidy this up a little bit. But I'm just pleased that we've got this in eventually, because I've been asking for it for quite a long time. So what we will do is we'll just tighten this up a little bit so we don't have so many keywords, and we can see how many times those keywords appeared. Maybe in a different tab we can do over here. Okay, so anyway, that's how we can use the LSI keywords. It will get better over there, and again with the title and description we can get some great ideas as well. So if I click on suggest a title, and we want to do this because we want to use compelling headlines. We don't want to use crappy headlines like dentist Colorado hyphen Colorado dentist. That is just, that's just not good optimization. It's not good marketing. It's not good optimization in any way. Even if it gets you ranking, it's not going to get you click-throughs. What you want is compelling headlines. So suggest the titles in here. It will pop up when it's finished, and then you can go into this part here that says suggested titles. Okay, now these are kind of pre-written templates for suggested titles, and all it's doing is it's going to pull your keyword phrase in here. So as we covered before in the webinars, you can see here the 5 best things about real estate Thailand. So you can change that out a little bit, and you can make it more grammatically correct to say the 5 best things about buying real estate in Thailand, for example. Okay, and you can make compelling headlines that sounds like useful content, and you could actually build a whole content campaign from within here, then record your videos around what you find in here and around the optimization that you do in your title and your description. Okay, you can even plan out your content in here, which is really cool as well. Okay, we can do the same thing with the suggested content. I've already done that previously, and we can see here it's pulled in some details in here. So it looks like I've got a competitor just arrived on the scene. He's done a press release here. This is from Google News. So he's done a press release here, and this is a competitor. So what I can do is I can just double click on this, and if you give it a few seconds, all that content will appear in here. Okay, so he's got some crappy content in here because I'm not seeing anything optimization for Thailand at all, which makes you wonder why the hell he did it anyway. And what I can do is just delete that. Before I delete that, actually, let's take a look at this snippet. Sorry, I'm kind of moving fast here. My brain is working 100 miles an hour as always. Before I leave here, I want to show you this one here. That's a new element that we've added. It's called check snippet. Okay, so you need a title, you need a description in here for this to make any sense whatsoever. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a URL from a video over here. Just double click on that and grab a URL, anyone right now, just for the purpose of demonstration, and come back over to Tube Optimization Commando. Okay. We can click on check snippet. Okay, this is what you will look like inside the Google search. Okay, and if I put the URL in here just for the purpose of making it look real, you can see that's what it's going to look like. So you can optimize your description a little bit better as well. You can see that's a crappy description. There's no call to action. There's no curiosity. It's not backing up the headline, so it makes you, it just gives you an opportunity to think a little bit for your first parts of the content in here, because that's what is going to show inside the Google search results. Now, if you're familiar with the tool from a website called SEOmorpho.com, they have a rich snippets preview tool, and it does this and a lot more. Okay, I liked that so much that I asked for this to be built into this tool, and I might take this one a little bit further, the same as what they have, not to copy them, not for the purpose really to copy them. Well, it is, but it's not with that intent. I will always give them credit for what they did there, but because I don't want to have to leave the dashboard every time I'm doing some work, I've designed this software suite and the Commando HQ one that we never have to leave the dashboard at all, not even for third-party sites. So we will probably add more in here so we can make it look better for what it will look like in the search engines, where they have, for example, in SEOmorpho, they show the demonstration adverts for Google AdWords and for rich snippets and for ratings and all kinds of good stuff over there. And it would be nice if we could build this one up to do the same as well. So expect those changes to keep arriving almost on a daily basis. We'll be adding stuff over the next few days and weeks and months. Okay. So anyway, you can see how this is building and quite nicely into a very, very useful optimization tool. Okay, and up here you can see the suggestions based on those top 4 results in YouTube. Title length of 57, description length 1208, video length, how long the average video is, and what is the most popular category for that keyword phrase, which is travel here. That can be quite telling sometimes, and it's always good to take a note of these, okay, and bear that in mind when you're uploading your optimized video. Okay, so anyway, that's how this works. And for these other 2 factors over here, for these other 2 tabs, just think about these like a cheat sheet for extra traffic factors and extra ranking factors, and it's got some good suggestions in there. So basically it's just like a cheat sheet to give you some additional ideas for optimizing, not just for the search engines, but also for your marketing, for click-through rates, for conversion, etc., etc. Okay, so that's how Tube Optimization Commando works. And if you've got any questions, then we'll happily cover them in the webinars that are coming up. We're going to do quite a few webinars for these, and I will do some webinars for individual tools within the suite as well, because some of them really do deserve a little bit more explanation than I can possibly do just in a recorded video. And it's always better in a webinar situation because people can get to ask questions as well. Okay, so that's me for now, guys. I've got another video that needs to be added for the playlist builder, but we're having some connection problems with Google that my coder is working on right now. As soon as that's done, that video will be up. Okay, and these videos that I'm doing now will stay on the site, but as I'm doing the case study, when I start doing the case study, I should say, I will be doing a video using every single tool in the suite, and you can see it how I do it in real time, in action, for every single tool. Okay, and those videos will be inside the member area too. Okay, so you'll learn how to use the tools or see how I use the tools in those case studies. Okay, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.